Hello, welcome, and apologies for the late live stream, everybody. This is now our 20th community call, and this is still not a perfect process for us. And that's one of the things that we're hoping to get better at in 2022 is automating some of the back-end stuff like the event creation. But we're not here to talk about automation. We're here to talk about a very important opportunity, and I'm actually going to show our roadmap. This is our Trello card. This is where we get all the things done. This is our event card for tonight, but more importantly, our roadmap. And we've got, again, this is one of the boards that we have, and you can find our boards here at trello.com/REtoken, and you won't see all of these because not all of these are public. But the one that we're talking about right now, this minute, and we spoke about this last week at our previous community call, and we asked with well-thought consideration if we wanted to add anything else to the roadmap here for 2022 Q1, which, you know, if you don't use quarter numbers, January, February, March is what we're talking about. And this has been an item, the only thing that's been on our roadmap, and scrolling through the history of this card, September 3rd, 2021, before we even completed the Decentralized Governance Hackathon, which we did receive the grand prize of that during this time frame. And I think that that was one of the things that we wanted to just make a well-presented project when we were submitting everything that we had built during that Gitcoin Decentralized Governance Hackathon. So fast forward, let's take a look at what the tip check poll, and this is one call to action here. If you haven't voted in this, go do this now. There's a possibility, and I would actually advocate that we give one final chance for anybody that may be in the audience. And let me get our Discord. I was actually shutting that down here because I didn't know if it was system resources, so I wound down some applications running and launching the Discord. And this is one of the things that we'll be talking more about is Discord safety in 2021. And I'm going to go in, and one of the things that I'm going to do off the screen here is enable streaming mode. And I'm not going to show how to do this on the live stream. That's actually something that we're planning on doing on another YouTube channel here soon. Is the, I'll bring this window, and this is a safe window here, streamer mode. So what I'm talking about is enabling streamer mode. This is something that Discord has in to limit what can be viewed from a best practices of Discord standpoint. Again, we'll be talking more about those opportunities and presenting information. And if anybody that's listening here, either live during the Zoom and we'll create a thread or something on Discord to take this conversation offline, because I don't want to talk about necessarily Discord's, what do you call all the best practices. So, and this is one of the things here I left on here, and one of the best practices is that it doesn't show all the details of that. But again, we'll take that offline because that's a much deeper conversation, because Discord in January of 2021 is a very scary place. Social engineering tactics are advancing. So keeping the conversation going, let's actually go what I was wanting to talk about, which was the, help somebody get me on track here. I lost too much sidetrack there.
You're talking about the roadmap for Q1?
Yeah, the roadmap for, the voting proposals, soft check that we put forward. So again, this is the call to action right now, because this voting poll closes here. And let me make this bigger for everybody on the live stream. So this is the one that we put forward, and I believe that there is, do I even have a time frame on this? I thought it had an end time. I'll take a look at that after the poll, but the goal was to have it end at 11 or 9 p.m. tonight. So as you can see here, the poll is overwhelmingly talking about International DAO Day and the facilitation of this via TokenSummitDAO. And this live stream is actually being live streamed. So going to the YouTube here, I believe that this is actually on the what's it called? Our Token Summit DAO. So this is a new channel. Like right now, I'm going to actually subscribe to the live stream right now. And I don't know what subscriber I am, but I'm going to throw a chat in here too. Comments during our live stream. So this is literally the very first, and this is again, Token Summit DAO. We're going to have the Genesis meeting for Token Summit DAO at 9 p.m. So that's like an hour and less than 40 minutes. And it'll be focused specifically, and it's going to be a separate DAO anyway. Wanted to open it up for some conversations. This is something that we're obviously very excited about, but I do want to just go round robin real quick. We've got strong participation, 10 people on the live stream tonight, and let me just read through that list. Let me bring open the participants. I don't think you can see it on here, but I'm going to take a screenshot of this epic milestone, our first live stream. We've got 10 people on here. And again, we've got Blurs, myself, Crush, Mrs. Yonks, Dylan D-Sign, and Jay-Z is what he said we could call him to keep it easy. And Julie, thank you for everything that you do, Julie. And thank you for everything that everybody does. And then the second largest token holder of REtoken behind myself, yes, she does hold more REtoken than Mrs. Yonks, is Amy. And that's just how consistent that Amy continues to deliver thoughtful conversations. And then we have the OG Dowplement Poopster. And we've got B-Mores, who is, I believe that this is B-Mores' first live stream. Welcome, B-Mores. Would you like to introduce yourself on the live stream? I'll give you a second or two. And if you don't want to, I can appreciate and respect that. So to keep the conversation going, 7 p.m. Mountain Time, 9 p.m., we're going to be having the Token Summit DAO Genesis meeting. And this is again to fulfill our roadmap item here. And this is going to be getting delivered under a brand new DAO, which will functionally be a sub DAO of Triple Win Foundation. And I'm not going to go into detail as far as that. This is something that's been communicated via a tweet, and I don't know if I can find it very, very quick. I do know where it's at. It's on our docs page. When I say docs, that's our GitHub or Gitbook. It also is on GitHub because we have those synced together here. And this is the impact investing. And let me see if I can make this bigger. Oh, there we go. Perfect. So this is something that I created a while ago. And the orange circle that we're talking about here, Token Summit. So from a legal entity standpoint, and that's something that we'll have some more conversations through Token Summit DAO, but looking to have a lot of fun with Token Summit DAO to work, and it'll be an intense amount of work to get this pulled off. 2/22/22 International DAO Day, looking to provide a really high level vision for this. And this is something that we were having some really good conversation on an ad hoc Zoom where we were wanting to have a POAP design contest. That's another thing that we'll talk a little bit more later here about, is we still need to send our own POAP design contest through our snapshot governance framework. And so we'll be having 2 immediate proposals, Blurs, to test out your HAL functionality going to Twitter. And what he's talking about, since we're on the Gitbooks here, and I want to again thank Blurs for having that initiative. We've got this section here, community tools and apps, and we've got this page here, HAL. We currently use HAL Notify for Discord and publish tweets, and this is something that we'll check out the functionality. Here's what it looks like though on the Discord notifications, and this is something again that's just to automate the notification and whatever that you want to do. And that's one of the advanced things that we can talk about in leveling up your Discord game, because I know that Discord, from a notification standpoint, can get pretty noisy. Some servers are noisier than others, and this is something that we're very mindful about, and we're going to continue to work on as far as best practices: find, implement, and refine. And that, again, the better that we can do sharing how that we're using various tools on this manner. So looking forward to seeing the functionality of the tweet, because getting more tweets out will help things like, and this is the tweet that started it all over here on Twitter for TokenSummitDAO. I sent this tweet out on, wow, October 22nd. And then, oh, I'm going the wrong way. I was going smaller instead of bigger. All right, making this bigger, smaller, not smaller, bigger, bigger. Okay, so let me click on this, because the other component of this is that this is going to fall functionally on our mountain retreat. So we're going to be bringing this, executing this in some manner, and I don't know. I'm looking forward to hanging out with Blurs, and I know that Poopster and Crush are coming out for Ethereum Denver. That's literally right around the corner, and I guess it's going to be kicking off. Today's the 12th. Just looked at my watch again there. February 11th, and the meat and potatoes of the Ethereum Denver is going to be on the 18th to the 20th. So anybody want to share their excitement about Ethereum Denver?
I'm very excited myself. Will be my very first crypto conference, period. So very excited there. And I'm going to be meeting some of y'all and doxing ourselves in person for the first time. So that'll be fun. So I'm very excited. My first time traveling since COVID, actually. So
I can't say I have any, because I don't know. I've gotten on some airplanes, but flying with the mask, it is what it is. And I can't even say what the mask policy is going to be. It's probably going to be required, like most of the stuff in Denver right now. So just to set clear expectations, I think that that's going to, and that will, I'm sure that as we get closer to that, that will become more clearly identified. But looking forward, it's going to be an amazing, and that's again where we will have an intense opportunity to just fully focus on making sure that everything is all squared away in these final moments for launching Token Summit on and kicking off this International DAO Day. And who else wants to chime in? I'm looking forward to like the mountain retreat. That's going to be absolutely fabulous as well. And we're giving Blurs a ride up in our Tesla from Denver to Breckenridge too. So
I'm actually an EV driver myself, not a Tesla, but just
FYI. Which one? When you say
I drive
EV driver,
a Bolt. Long story as to the reason for purchasing that. I did want a Tesla, but we'll talk about that offline. But anyway, we do have some comments here in the chat. First of all, B Moores would love to chime in and say hi, but he is or she is in an environment that's too loud to chime in. So just FYI there. Ryan is curious what hal.xyz is. If we have time, I'd be willing to do a quick screen share for that. Let's just push that to the back. And then, he's also asking if there's a virtual situation for ETH Denver. And the answer is absolutely. It is both virtual and in person. I believe all the details are on the website, ethndenver.com. Hopefully I didn't mess it up.
I think so. Let's go there real quick. ETH Denver, and I'm not sure what the format. Maybe Twitch.
But they've been hosting most of their intro calls on Twitch, so that is likely. The other thing is ETH Denver has its own server set up, some Discord server. So if you're not in that and you want to be, just ping me and I'll invite you to it. They've been posting a lot of stuff. There's two things. There's the actual conference, and then there's the Breckenridge thing, and they are also doing kind of a self-organizing calendar. So there are a couple other DAOs that we know that are doing events. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of like happy hours and social whatever and stuff. So there's going to be a Google Calendar that they're just going to let people just throw on wherever they want that you can subscribe to, and then you can go to whatever you want. And I'm sure there's also going to be a lot of spontaneous stuff there too. I think they're expecting around 5,000 people.
Yeah, and just to amplify that, I think that there's definitely an opportunity for us to facilitate workshops surrounding Token Summit, and just to again build momentum and having the opportunity to represent this, and then like going back to Token Summit, like just to provide a very high level brief mission summarized here on the original tweet, which I haven't touched since we launched this. Mission number 1, launch the best 3-day virtual summit surrounding tokens, which includes social tokens, DAOs, NFTs, real estate, and security tokens. And I'm kind of, and we'll talk again more about that and flesh out the details. I just wanted to kind of come full circle a little bit more as far as some of the original vision that was having. So if you're on the fence about coming to Denver and you don't mind the mask situation, like that's something that Mrs. Yonks and I are having to reacclimate to. We just came back from Cincy where I didn't break out my mask out of my bag one time. And it's like every store that I go in, mask required. So, you know, I try to be a good Denverite and, you know, abide by the local municipality recommendations on that topic. So
those of you who are not going to come out live, Jason does require you to have a good Colorado craft beer in his honor, wherever in the world you may be. So since we can't have one with you, then he would like to just a little virtual happy hour to celebrate Colorado's finest industry.
Yes, and there's other industries that thrive here in Colorado too, but that's an in-person conversation. So to go forward on the Besides Token Summit, and again, we'll be talking about that. And this is live streaming on our Token Summit channel. So that's super fresh. Literally just got that turned on the other day. So looking forward to having more conversations about Token Summit. As you know me, we will have all kinds of them. So the other thing too is, and I'm doing this number a lot, so I don't know why that is, but anyway, a noteworthy update here. Those of you that may or may not know, we REtoken Tokentown, the HOA destroyer. I think that we spoke about this last week, but see, this is an opportunity. This came up during the non-live stream earlier. So this is an action item here. And this is something that I can only fix, or Mrs. Yonks can fix. If you want to get a ticket opened up with Rose Hosting to reboot or whatever, this is an opportunity to get fixed. And then this is something else that we need to put some better infrastructure in place, either from a monitoring standpoint or just move it to a different solution altogether. And we may be able to allocate some of our budget for this right here, which is the grant that we received from Polygon Ecosystem DAO. And this is something that the conversation started with. Poopster is actually a Genesis founding member, or whatever they call them, at the Polygon Ecosystem DAO. And through Poopster's affiliation there, this was a recommendation that he had. Poopster is also, and Crush are both founding citizen holders of Tokentown, Colorado. And again, that's our flagship project that we, the team here, a lot of which is represented tonight, put forward a monumental effort during the first week or the last week of September, the first week of October. It was, I think we had 13 working groups over a 2-week period there. One of which was we put in this founding citizen, which is a hybrid governance model using an ERC-721 NFT that we mint on our very own website using Unlock Protocol. And we're huge proponents of Unlock Protocol. We will likely here very soon implement Unlock Protocol as a founding 1K club. And it's going to be a key component of Token Summit. Talk more about that here later tonight. Going back to what we're looking at here, this is again our proposal that we put forward. And I think that they actually had an intake form. So as you can see, it was actually Grindel that made this post, and he's one of the orchestrators over there at Polygon Ecosystem DAO. And anyway, to scroll down, this was an updated milestone when having conversations with them. We reduced the original request down to a gift grant of 10K. And then here was some bullet points as far as how that we would allocate that. And the thought at the time was to use this with Creator DAO for marketing services there. Creator DAO, myself and Poopster are founding 100 NFT holders. And I know that DeSign is putting forward a lot of efforts over there to create a more scalable foundation for that DAO in 2022. So the update that I made here, and just to provide everybody some full transparency, Polygon ecosystem has a parameter for the project leads, and I'm the identified project lead using sobol.io, sobol.io. And this is the update that I prepared. This was posted 4 days ago. If we don't have the link in our YouTube, this is something that we'll include there. And I just want to read this update because this is, in my opinion, it took a little bit of effort for me. I wanted to provide a well thought out, because as you know, I'm a full fan of transparency, but then also it's also a content strategy, because I have multiple backlinks in this forum post on Polygon.technology. So remember, always thinking of content strategy and how can I provide some backlinks for some of our key pieces of content. One of those was, and I'm going to go off on a tangent because everybody loves a good Yonks tangent. And if you don't, just go along with me anyway. So Citadel, well, this was a founding citizen NFT. Did I have the other one in here? I don't know if I did. I'll open it up in YouTube anyway. It's not on this one. So what I was going to show, and let me bring open the YouTube channel for REtoken DAO because I know exactly where it is, and I actually have that on the profile over here. So this is a conversation that we're going to be asking here a lot during our REtoken YouTube channel, where we're planning on multi-purposing this content into a podcast right here. The question: how to own real estate for $100 or less. And the very first project that we brought forward on this conversation was Citadel, and that was done last week via a live stream AMA. And one of the ideas that we had there to foster community engagement, and we actually had a planned call, we missed the communication a little bit. This is something that Citadel is very excited about, is doing a DAO, and one of the ideas that I had that is an idea evolution from when that ad hoc call that we didn't do, but I think hopefully the people that were there got some value, and I am going to create a POAP. Thank you, Amy, for facilitating all that you do behind the scenes on the POAP creation. We love our POAPs, and the idea is to create a POAP design contest. And we've also got this other DAO that's kind of been sitting on the shelf a little bit, the DAO hack. And with the increasing amount of activities that we've got going on, we will probably look like this would be an absolute fabulous POAP to engage the DAO hack into this design contest. Because one of the things that I love about the DAO hack is the logo there is a yin yang. And that's been a symbol for a long time as far as cultural significance. So the opportunity of doing a POAP design contest that we could help to facilitate through the DAO hack, REtoken DAO, along with Citadel, I think we could create an absolutely fabulous POAP. And one of the opportunities that Citadel is very excited about, I am as well, because we have a lot of social auditory roots, primarily more on the Clubhouse side of the conversation, but Twitter Spaces has really leveled up their game, because one of the things that's fabulous about Twitter Spaces is it allows the organic amplification of the existing network effect of Twitter. And if you really want to understand my own Web3 crypto DAO Web3 journey, all that you have to do is scroll through my Twitter feed. I've had Yonks, that account, for over a decade, and it wasn't really until I got engaged with crypto, but even more specifically in DAOs themselves, did I really start to see the value that engaging on that platform can provide. And that's one of the things that we'll be discussing more. Like one of the things that we've talked about is this mastermind type of a conversation. And that's, I think, a solid opportunity to kind of build some framework as far as like how to run your own mastermind. Because I think from a people standpoint, anyway, going back to the podcast here, the AMAs, we'll be having more conversations. Sorry for the miss earlier for anybody that was on the conversation, but we're looking to do a POAP design contest with them. So my expectation is that this will provide a great opportunity to earn some s0cc20 governance tokens. And I don't have any idea when that is planning on dropping, but you'll have to follow their project for that, but we'll have more conversations. So I'm going to take a moment here and pause and provide some reflection, because this is, again, another one of the snapshot proposals. And just to kind of put a REtoken number that I was kind of anticipating putting forward as far as a REtoken budget for this POAP design contest is 2,500. So kind of wanted to get some feedback from everybody, what you think of as far as this POAP design contest and engaging with s0cc20 and then providing like a operational framework for having more fun types of contests or stuff like this in the future here in 2022.
Is that for the winner, or what is the 2,500 the number for?
That's the max budget, and then we can decide how that will be split up. And I would actually advocate that we do something pretty similar. So from a high level standpoint, we've got what was that number that we collected on the whitelist there, Mrs. Yonks, for the for this live stream that's on the screen right now?
Sorry, you cut out for a second. What was the what number?
How many did we collect for this live stream on that Google form?
58. You mean how many addresses?
Yeah.
So 50. I think 58.
So that's POAP number one, is to provide a POAP for the participants of this first live stream. And then from all indications that I got, the opportunity of doing, and this would be, because my understanding is that the Bankless DAO DGen bot supports Twitter Spaces. So from a POAP delivery standpoint, utilizing that, especially with s0cc20's interest of amplifying their Twitter presence. And then I think that, we could potentially look at doing some other tooling on that. We'll be talking more about tooling for facilitating fun things like this here in 2022. And we'll probably be having a lot more of those conversations specifically surrounding Token Summit, because that's where we're going to be occupying most of our time. To go back to that, 2,500 would be the budget. And then I think doing some type of combination similar to what we did from a stair-stepping standpoint for the first place, second place, and third place winner of the one. And it'll make a lot more sense because we're the immediate delivery on us is to create a snapshot proposal for REtoken relaunch. And then the other opportunity on that is, from what I understand, the snapshot proposal process, where you integrate a POAP, is a manual process. And that's something that I'll work with Amy for getting, and the dev team for getting that fulfilled. I think just integrating all of that from a workflow standpoint and getting that documented is an opportunity. But so like, and then like if we do a 25 with a limit of 3, I think that was a really solid where it prevents, and we're looking at doing two designs here. So two designs, the one for the live stream and then one for the what's it called, the Twitter space. So does anybody have any questions, thoughts, concerns on the and again, we'll figure out what the details look like, but I think it'll be similar in numbers. It'll just be two designs, and then we'll have to figure out what that'll be our pool of REtoken, and then we'll have a separate conversation. The governance framework with the DAO hack is, I mean, it's basically a DAO that's sitting on the shelf right now. So those conversations will be easy to fulfill there. And then whatever s0cc20 wants to do for throwing in their pie or a contribution to from a governance token standpoint. And we'll again, I'm sure that conversation here will unfold very soon. It's just a little bit of a miss on the scheduling with the CitADAO today. So I don't know if I characterized it well, and I'm wanting to go back here real quick on the grant, the give grant from Polygon Ecosystem DAO. So going to put this forward in a snapshot proposal, in basically instead of it, and one of the items for voting on will be the creator DAO route. And then the other one looking at breaking this, and it's in the form of Matic. I always love going on a little bit of a tangent when we're talking about assets in our Gnosis safe multi-sig, because we do follow best practices here. And we've got that very simply defined as find, implement, and refine, which I think should be an ongoing process. And here you can see our Gnosis safe that's on Polygon, which is where we received this grant from in the form of Matic. So it was 4562 blah, blah, blah Matic. And advocating that we split this up in some manner where half of it go to TokenSummitDAO to get that project launched, and then we'll figure out the specifics on that. And that's something that we can incorporate into the Genesis team meeting later tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern time. And then for the other half of that, and this is again just very loosely for keeping the conversation simple, go to REtoken, Tokentown to get a solid presence on our websites. And right now we've got database errors. I can't even show you that. So that's another opportunity for improvement. So that's again, what looking at here. One of the things too that we got done, and this is, I think, something that's worth talking about, because I think that this occurred during the 4th dev team, which was between now and our last community call. And this is another one of our multi-sig safes. So we did the transferal from the smart contract of Tokentown, Colorado. So this is functionally securing the funds, if you will, in our multi-sig safe. And that was done again during our dev team call. So we moved from that. We again have 5 founding citizens now. And what the let me go back here too. And this is an opportunity that we have spoken about, but we have an immediate need and opportunity of refreshing the multi-sig signers on the REtoken. Both the this is the one for Polygon, Matic. We have another, our main safe on Ethereum has, and this is some of the proceeds from ENS. We received a fairly decent airdrop. You can see right here from ENS. This is from our Gitcoin Decentralized Governance Grand Prize and the UMA project. And that's something else that we have an opportunity to move forward with the KPI options to get that in place. Right now, the focus again is Token Summit and to fulfill our roadmap on here for a virtual event, because I really do believe that this virtual event can be a profit center for us, but also provide a very different dynamic to be the founding contributors in another project that using everything that we've learned here as far as refining this live streaming process, DAO governance, potentially explore some new tools. And that's one of the things that I regularly encourage. And it's not that I'm just encouraging it and doing something different. I'm personally involved in BitDAO. I've been on 2 conversations here with BitDAO today, had a great AMA with John Allen. If you haven't seen it, absolutely should watch it. ZK is a very exciting DAO on the L2 ZK Sync, which is a very privacy-centric L2 chain. And if that proposal gets funded from BitDAO, that could basically provide I think the first tranche was 40 million, and then it's upwards of 200 million of funding from BitDAO to launch ZK DAO. So a very different dynamic. when you have a funded DAO out of the gate versus a bootstrapped DAO like what we are operating in. So I'm absolutely going to be involved in every way that I can to help facilitate the launching of zkDAO. So quick
Hey,
plug
Jason,
there. Go ahead.
Oh, it looks like I got TokenTown back online if you want that website.
See, this is why we love that hosting service. See, thank you for that. They're very responsive when a ticket is raised, and thank you for getting that done. But those that were involved on the conversation with launching of TokenTown, it was a very, very out of the box WordPress. I think it's the out of the box WordPress theme. So the opportunity of creating a better framework that we can, and then more importantly, during REtoken relaunch month, we acquired RET.team. And as you can see, this is so out of the box that it still says hello world on the homepage of RET.team. So going back to the proposal, that's what's going to put forward. And then for the third option, going to have 3 options on that proposal. And due to the time nature of this, and if people want to go in a different direction, we're going to include a third proposal that will basically say, no, let's step back, review the decisions, and then come back with a more well thought out proposal. But right now, there was strong signal from everybody here on our Discord. There were 0 people that said, no, let's keep our normally planned team calls. So going back to our calendar, let me do that because we're already almost to the hour. I've covered everything that wanted to, but this is a good opportunity to show our Google Calendar, because what that means for us is that the only planned event that will facilitate with the strong support that we received on this is the community call. I still want to have the community call. I still want to move forward. And there was a little bit of apprehension on the coordinate. And that's something that we can definitely bring forward if we want to. I would kind of let this just play out using the same numbers that we put forward. And for those that don't remember, it was 500 budget for each circle. And here in this second round of coordinate, we've got 3 circles. We've got the dev team, the content team, and the ambassadors team.
And by the way, we're still looking for a leader for the ambassadors team. So that's what Make Your Heart Sing, then. Let me know if
yeah, and on that note, because there's still an opportunity to set up Superfluid, if somebody would like to create a well thought out proposal, and one that I would back from, you would have my vote, is pretty simple. Like the team captain that facilitates the role of orchestrating and leading that. And think now that we're not even hosting a weekly call for these teams, the opportunity, and again, if the designated team people are still in place, but the thought there is to provide a weekly budget set up via Superfluid Finance to just stream 250 a week for the team captains. So you would have the 500 for coordinate, you'd have the 250 REtoken a week. And like, just to put some numbers behind stuff, people, like we minted 10 million REtoken, and I don't even think we've given out 50,000 or distributed, and it's not given out. We definitely, I believe, have been very consistent. One of the things that has been a consideration from a talking point standpoint is just moving away from the meticulous accounting that we're doing on a per event basis and just simplify things. I don't necessarily want to do that until after Token Summit, keep things in place, but we'll have more conversations on that. But we need to do something simpler, and I'm hoping that we can automate it where it's not tedious, because I think if it was automated, then it would be great. But anyway, I wanted to stop talking, chime in some thoughts, because I threw some more information out there. And we've only got a few minutes left, and I want to finalize some initial agenda for Token Summit, which is coming up here in a little over an hour.
Hi, Jason. Hi, Tyler. If we're not going to concentrate on the teams until the summit, I'll take on the ambassador team lead role. This is Amy.
Oh, sorry, Amy, we lost you for a second. You want to take on which role?
If we're not going to start it until really, concentrate on it until after the summit, I'll take on the ambassador lead
awesome.
role.
Love it.
And just to be clear, I still have the expectations of facilitating some fulfillment of a captain designation, because remember, we're budgeting 500 REtoken via the coordinate. So like what that would mean is kind of catching up with people that are engaged. And that's one of the big value propositions that coordinate provides, is that if people aren't actively engaged, they get opted out automatically anyway. So that's just an easy mechanism. And that's another opportunity that we have. And we'll be having more conversations about that, because again, best practices: find, implement, and refine. And coordinate is a tool that is being widely utilized in the DAO space. And we want to keep it simple, but we also want to make it easier for people to see who's doing what and who's actually contributing. And I think that that's another opportunity to elevate DAO tooling as it exists today. But who else wants to chime in some thoughts? Thank you for taking that initiative there, Amy. And again, the opportunity is set up the superfluid finance. It looks pretty easy, especially since we don't have the transaction costs. We can kind of play around. We still have a large chunk, and this is I'm not logged in here, but we've got a large chunk of our REtoken on a MetaMask hot wallet. And again, that's not what I would say is a best practice, but the ability, if our hot wallet was compromised, to just say, okay, we're migrating from this social token to another social token, we have very little at risk, because we can mint another social token for nothing.
Yeah, until there's liquidity, it doesn't mean anything.
Absolutely.
I know we're at the end of the show and it's already 6:59, but I just wanted to say I was enjoying using Superfluid with Creator DAO. It's pretty cool. They stream thousands and thousands of creator every month, so pretty neat application.
Yeah, why don't I just bring that up here? I would absolutely agree. Let's go to the
Jason, while so pull that up while you're doing that. Ernest had a comment in the audience that he's probably not going to be able to help as much with Token Summit, so he had offered to help with Superfluid for the ambassadors. And also
I would approve Ernest for stepping up to lead the content team, because I would rather focus solely on, I would have no problem lifting up Ernest and just step out of a team captain role entirely so that I can focus on Token Summit.
Ernest, are you good with that? Do you want to be the captain of the content team?
We can take that offline since Ernest isn't on the call anyway.
Sure.
Yeah.
He's with us in spirit. So Amy for ambassador, Ernest potentially for content, and Amy, yeah, whatever you want to or are able to do is fine. If you are all in for Token Summit, then just put it on hold. I mean, part of it is, I think, Blurs, you had mentioned that the Discord seemed a little quiet, which was only funny because I feel like Jason and I have been working harder than we ever have in our entire like crypto career, and doing stuff for REtoken, but not actually in the server. So some of it is just kind of, I'm like, oh, it's just kind of funny. I was like, oh man, it probably looks like something's going on. We got to tell people what we're doing. So anyway.
Well, yeah, I understand. It's just to keep a pulse for folks, because I mean, I mean, in this or pretty much any industry, if people don't see things happening, and I'm not talking about me, because I kind of figured something was happening, but for a lot of new folks, if they don't see something going on, they're like, oh, okay, this project's dead. I'm moving on to the next whatever. So yeah, we got to make sure we just keep a pulse and just tell people what's going on.
Yeah, no, for sure. Well, the other thing was you and everybody else who I mean, part of it is not everything in our Discord has to be just about REtoken. I mean, we found out about Lofty AI, I think, through you. So if you guys see anything, Amy, you posted an interesting article on LinkedIn this morning. I see you guys posting a lot of interesting stuff about real estate tokenization more broadly. So throw that all in there. I mean, if you see something, throw it in. Like all content is helpful when we're trying to pique people's interest in what we're doing and that our project is going to work. Jay-Z, you had some great questions about structure and REIT and virtual real estate, and that was interesting too. So I think a lot of you guys are bringing up a lot of topics that are worth discussing.
Right. I was thinking maybe we can purchase a virtual land in the future. And just some thoughts.
Well, we can see, I mean, everything is open for conversation. I mean, one of the things that we're very passionate about here at REtoken and executing is making the real estate investing accessible for everyone. Because one of the drawbacks here in a lot of real estate tokenization projects have either the geography of the US being a barrier of entry, or if you're in the US and you're not an accredited investor. And for those that may or may not know, it's a very high barrier of entry. You have to have either one, over $1 million of net worth, or two, your partner and yourself have to make, like, as an individual, 200,000 for the last 2 years. And I think
hey Jason, we're a little over, so why don't you talk about Superfluid and let's wrap it up.
Yeah, so thank you for that. But that's again, we want to make real estate, how to own real estate for everyone, like truly everyone. But anyway, this is 2 Superfluid streams that I've got. You were looking at the one for Creator DAO. I switched over here earlier to Rinkeby. I'm not even sure what this is going to look like, but this is one that was set up that's been streaming since sometime in November, as far as my involvement with BitDAO. And that's, again, just some of the tools that we can learn and deploy here. And I think the easiest use case of that is our team captain. So any final thoughts from everybody before we call it a wrap? We're already almost 5 minutes over our allocated time and want to be respectful of everybody's time.
Yeah, just the whole deal with Superfluid is it gets pretty painful to keep doing an airdrop to the same person for the same amount every week. So the point of Superfluid, set it up once, divide it, I think it's per minute or per second or whatever, and then you divide 500 REtoken divided by per second, and then just let it run in perpetuity until the person changes roles. And that way we don't have to keep resetting it up. So it's more of an admin thing for us than anything else.
Yeah, and the kind of the thoughts to carry that a little bit further as far as how that may be easily facilitated is through, and this is again another snapshot proposal, because it does have a pretty high cost with it, but we do, it's on yonks.eth. I'm holding ret.eth, which we could get. A nice thing about that is it's very, very short ENS domain. But we'll have that conversation here later. Any final thoughts before we call it a wrap here for our 20th community call at REtoken?
I think you will be very happy with Superfluid, because when I attended the meeting during the hackathon, they explained it really well, and it should work. So I'm glad we're using it.
And I think it'll be a lot easier to set up than we realized too. And again, we've got the REtoken hot wallet, where it might be a little bit more difficult not setting it up with a hot wallet, but like having a hot wallet that has that in there, I think will make it substantially easier. So anyway, we're winding it down here. I'm gonna do the countdown, and then that'll be one final opportunity for everybody else. And if nobody chimes in, it will be number 20 in the books. So, and then one final thought, Token Summit, that Genesis team meeting, if you need some details on that, that'll be coming up literally in less than an hour. So anyway, I'm doing the countdown, I'm going on mute, and that'll be your last chance to chime in.
See you guys later. Bye.